Greetings everyone. Today we are going to be having another video, which is going to be our first Forex video of the year. So this week we took a trade, which is our first trade of the year, and we are able to bag winnings. You can see the results up here. So I'm going to be explaining to you how you can trade the market using the trend line, using the RSI, which is the relative strength index, and also using your moving average. So this trade which we won this week, we are able to use the trend line to identify the trend and also wait for the breakout of the trend line and go for short. And we are able to use our RSI, which is the relative strength index, to know where the market has been in overbought, so that we can also be able to sell it down. And we are able to use our moving average, which is 200 moving average, to know where to leave the market, to know where to take our profit. You can see here I had to tell everyone to take out their profit and close the market. So stay tuned to this video because I have a lot I'm going to be sharing with you. Firstly, I'm going to explain the moving average for you. I'm going to take you through how to apply the moving average to your chart and how it works. I'm also going to explain the relative strength index, showing you the overbought and the oversold, how you can trade the relative strength index, and how you can catch some winning by yourself. And lastly, I'm going to be showing you how you can use trend line to determine when to leave the market, where to enter the market. Upon seeing the trend line break, upon seeing the trend line bounce, how you can trade using trend line. So if this topic interests you, you have to stay tuned to the end of this video, as I have a lot to review for you just for free. Just stay tuned, like, subscribe, and give thumbs up. Let's go into the system. Alright guys, so this is GBP USD on 5 minutes time frame. So to do our analysis, I like using the higher time frame. I mean, from the higher time frame to the lower time frame. That is a top-down analysis. So I'm going to go on my 1 hour, which is where I usually do my analysis. So on this page right now, the first thing we are going to talk about is the trend line. We are going to talk about the trend line. So I'm going to show you in this video how you can draw a trend line and how you can use trend line to determine your trade. So once we are done with the trend line, then we are going to move to the relative strength index, and then we'll discuss about the moving average. So now to go to the trend line, I'm just going to go back to let's use like maybe 4 hours and go back in time to a chart. Let's just pick any of these charts, then we can make our analysis on them. So preferably you can use any time frame, but I prefer you use the higher time frame. Yes, you can use 1 hour, you can use 4 hours, or I can just go to 1 hour, as many people are familiar with 1 hour. You can also draw your trend line on a daily time frame. You can draw your trend line here on a daily time frame. So everywhere you can see a trend. So like this now, looking at this here, we can see a trend there. This is a trend here. So coming from this region here to this region here, just look at it. So this is how you draw your trend line. This is how you draw your trend line. It's not a rocket science. So let me just give you one scope about trend line. So when you want to draw a trend line, this is where you are going to pick your trend line from. So when you click on this place here, this region here, you will see trend line. So select this trend line, then look for a region where the line you want to draw is touching at least 2 bottom of this candle. So you can see I have one touch at this region here. Starting from this bottom here, you can see there's another multiple touch at this region here, crossing up here. So now looking at this on a daily candle, this is trend line. So and we have two types of two ways in which you can trade your trend lines. One is trend line bounce, and the first one is trend line bounce, while the second one is trend line break. So let me explain how you can trade the trend line bounce. So trading the trend line bounce, you can see we have this is our candle. going up here. Upon touching this trend line serve as a support. So this trend line will serve as a support or serve as a resistance for everything you are doing. So that is the aim of the trend line. So you can see that coming back here, this trend line serve as a support at this region. So after this trend line serve as a support, we can see a reversal pattern here showing that this market will not continue going back down, and this market wants to start going back up. So you can now see that we now have this going back up. Then upon reaching a certain place up, then you can see the trend line. There is a reversal candle pushing the market back down, and also it touched back this trend line, which this trend line also serve as a support again and bounce this and make this go back up. So this is this is trend line bounce. This is how you trade trend line bounce. I'm going to show you more example. So for traders trading trend line bounce, this is how they trade it. So once you have your trend line, let's say this is the first site you are seeing here and you are not seeing every other thing. So upon touching here the first one, going back up, upon touching here the second time, you will see the traders trading this trend line will just go in for their buy. They will just go in from their long upon seeing that this particular trend line has served as a support. You can see multiple reaction on this trend line showing that this particular candle do not want to break below this trend line. So you will see traders will put their entry at this region here, then they put their stop loss below this low, as this is the current low. They put their stop loss below this low, and they are going to target this particular high right here. So since this is a trend, they can target a high like this or higher like this. So based on this, so if I'm going to trade this, you can see bouncing here, then I can target at least 1:2. So this is a daily candle. Do not forget, touching here is even like 1:3. So even though you are targeting here is also a good win. You can just target this high here. This high here is also a good win for you because this is ratio 2.3 already. So let me put this so you can see what. Don't forget this is a daily candle. So putting your stop loss below this, it has to be a bit below. So many people always make mistake when putting their stop loss, because you see in this market will always go up and come down. So you have to put your stop loss at a place where it is ideal. So forget everything about, oh, I am using a tight stop loss. You have to put your stop loss at an ideal place. That is the only thing that can save you in the market most times. So once you put your stop loss below this low here, below this previous low, then you can choose the previous high as your take profit, and that is it. So that is how traders trade the trend line bounce. This is trend line bounce. So now let's talk about trend line break. So trend line break is when you have this. There are some traders that only focus on trend line break. They will not trade this trend line bounce, because you see, looking at this here right now, this trend line we put here is an example of an uptrend, showing that the market is going up, coming here, bouncing on this trend line, then going back up. So we can just let me use this part to show you what I'm saying. So this is like an uptrend, coming back here, bouncing back up, coming back here, bouncing back up. So anything that makes the market to break through this particular trend line, it shows that the market is ready to change direction, because it's ready to change the course, maybe to going back down. So now talking about the trend line break. The trend line break is when the market break below this your trend line. So when this market break below your trend line, there is one thing we call break and retest. So whenever market break through your trend line like this, just like what we have here, traders will wait for it to retest back to this particular position here, wait for their confirmation, and they are going to go in for a short. So at this position here right now, many traders will opt in for a short position upon seeing this. So this is a signal of a short position, and they can target 1:2, 1:3 reward. And if you want to put your stop loss also, you have to put your stop loss at this particular junction here. You have to put it a little bit above this previous low here. This previous low, you have to put it a little bit above. Then you can target either 1:2 or 1:3. So you can see 1:2 will easily smash for you. It is a big win for this trade. So now let's leaving this. So this is how you trade. This is trend line break, when it break out of the trend line, while the other example we did is trend line bounce. So your trend line can also be from up to down. You can also trade your trend line from up to down. So you can also have a trend here at this region here. So you can have a trend at this region here. Let's see if we have any trend at this region here. Let me see. We can have a trend. Okay, there's no trend there. So let me okay, so now let's look for another trend line which we can. This is an example of a trend line when the market is moving up. So let's look for another example of a trend line bounce or break when the market is coming down. So we can also go to the lower time frame. Let's look at this on the lower time frame. Let me check on 1 hour time frame, and let's see what we have on 1 hour time frame. Let's see what we have on 1 hour time frame. So where are we? Okay, so I think okay, I have to sign into my other account for us to have more views on this. Okay, so this is what we are going to do. Okay, this is what we are going to do. So upon seeing that example, let's also look for another example of trend line on this lower time frame, on this 1 hour time frame, and let's see. So remember what I said to you about trend line. Trend line is about selecting a point. You can choose a wick and making sure that it touch at least 2 bottom, then you extend the line. So you don't need to what do I call it, you don't need to worry yourself more on what the market will do or how the market is doing. Just make sure that your trend line is touching 2 bottom. So I'm targeting from this region to this particular bottom here. That is my target. So now I'm doing this without me knowing what will happen in the future. So you can see my line is touching 1 and it's touching 2. So when you have a trend line being drawn and it's touching at least 1, it is touching at least 2, that is a valid trend line. It is touching at least 2 tops or 2 bottoms, that is a valid trend line. So you have to pay attention to that. So this is also a trend line bounce. You can see bouncing from here, bouncing from here, bouncing from here, and you can see this is a breakout, a fake breakout, of course. When I'm explaining about liquidity and break of structure, I'm going to explain more about this fake out for you, for everyone. So now you can see we have a proper breakout here, and see the trend line break here. After the breakout, what happens? Remember what I told you about break and retest. Break and retest, then we have boom, down. So it always happens. So a lot of traders, in fact including myself, I do enjoy using Trendline, because Trendline will show you so many things and it can help you win a lot. So which we are still going to explain as we proceed, because I want to show you how we are able to get the particular trade we want today. So this is another example of trend line. We can see, we can also pick an example of trend line from the downside, so which is what I did. So I can just use the one we did as an example. So this is how we got our entry. So from here, I'm still going to explain about the what is it called, about the RSI and the rest. So this is the trend line we use to get our entry for the trade we enter today. So starting from this region here, yes, so this is our first point. Remember I said it must touch at least 2 points. So we picked our first point from here. So touching this other point here, which validate our second point, third point. You can see that we have multiple touches at this point here. So drawing it, extending it down, touching this particular point here to the downside, So you can see we have the first touch here, we have the second touch here, we have another touch here, third touch here, and this. So this shows that what we have here is indeed a valid trend line, so now is indeed a valid trend line. So on this right now, let's put this aside for the trend line. So now let's talk about the relative strength index. So the RSI is very, very, very important in trading, and majority of people do not know how to properly use this. Yeah, so majority of people do not know how to properly use this, but I'm going to show you how to use the relative strength index very well. So to select this indicator, you have to come to here, which we have indicator. So select this and search for RSI, relative strength index. So you are going to see this relative strength index. Just click on it. So once you click on it, you have this here. You can see this is it here. So I'm going to click on this so you can see the settings here and compare it with your settings as well. So you can change the color on everything you want it to be. So it is pretty very, very simple and very, very easy to use. Now, how do we use RSI? Remember I said that we usually use RSI to confirm overbought and oversold. We usually use RSI to confirm overbought and oversold, and this is what I'm going to be teaching you today, and I believe it's going to help your trading journey. It is definitely going to help your trading journey. If you've not subscribed yet, subscribe. If you've not given thumbs up yet, give the like, press the like button right. Okay, so we have overbought and oversold, and this RSI you can use it on maybe from your 1 hour, 15 minutes. You also see it on 15 minutes. You also see it on any smaller, you see it on 5 minutes and so on like that. So let me show you. Let's start from 1 hour. You even see it on your daily time frame. So let me just show you how it works. It's very simple. It is very, very simple. So this is how we use the RSI. So to use the RSI, the first thing you need to do is to identify the trend. What is the current trend of the market? Are we in the uptrend? Are we in the downtrend? So for you to know the trend of the market, you can also use the likes of this moving average, which I'm going to be talking about last, to identify the trend. You can see that the market has been tanking, showing that we are in a downtrend. You can see we are in a downtrend. So that is number one. So number two is, now this is one thing you need to pay attention on. Let me just come here on the RSI. So if you look at this RSI here, you will see that upon this RSI is showing whatever is happening on your chart is showing this underneath here with line for you. So whenever you see this line cross below this position here, this 20 position here, you can see this is 20. Whenever you see that cross below this this space here, moving down below to the 20 region, it means you are going to see a color of red, indicating that there is oversold in the market. It means that, okay, many traders, the market has come down to a point that it might possible reverse. Let's use that one. It's very simple, so we will not confuse each other. So whenever you see this red indicator here, it shows that, oh, this market has moved down to a point that it might be reversed back up at any moment soon. So that is where you see this is red. You will see here too, this is also red. It shows that, oh, this market has moved down a bit. It has moved down and it might start reversing back up. This is another red here. So this is what we call oversold. You can note it down. It's called oversold. And whenever you see this moving towards this 80 region here, and you can see a green, if you zoom here, you'll be seeing green. Can you see this green? You'll be seeing green. Whenever you are seeing this green, it is called overbought and oversold. So you can see red oversold, green overbought. You'll see it. Let me change this to dark thing. Maybe you can see it properly. Yes, so this will help us. So you can see red, green, red, going like that, overbought and oversold. You can go to the 15 minutes time frame. I don't know if this is actually okay or the white is okay, but I'm going to turn it back to white because this is affecting my face already. So okay, so you can see overbought, oversold, and that is it. So let me change this back to white. Let's use the light theme. So that is how it is. Now, how do we trade with this relative strength index? How do we trade with this RSI? And how do we apply this in our trade? So this is how it works here. See, you can't trade with RSI alone. You can either use your RSI with support and resistance, or you use your RSI with a trend line or so. So RSI is only just there to give you confirmation on what is happening in the market and when you can enter the market. Remember I said whenever we have this RSI is indicating overbought and oversold for us. So let's take for example, look at what happened here. You can see here is showing us that okay, the market has been tanking, and it is indicating for us that sooner or later this market will start going back up. It will start going back up. And you can see what happened after this region. You can see that we can see a possible reversal up on this region, market going back up. So why I said you have to use it with a support or a resistance is when you see this overbought, oversold on a support and a resistance, that is you having two confirmation, and on that particular note you are going to look for your entry confirmation to show that okay, the market is ready to start going back up, not coming down. So you enter it. See, this RSI is not 100%, but it can still give you 90% if you know how to use it. So we can see so many results. Whenever this thing shows oversold, you will see okay, look at this overbought here. This region here is overbought. You can see what happened. We have a little drop down here, shows that okay, market is coming. Look at what happened here. We have another overbought here. Look at what happened next. We can see the market tanking down. So you can see that even this overbought align with the trend line here. So that is you having a double confirmation. I mentioned something about double confirmation, and I'm still going to make a video on how to use multiple confirmation to confirm your entry in order to give yourself 99% winning accuracy. So this is it. You can see another overbought here. After we have this overbought here, look at what happened. The market tanked. So you can just use your RSI upon your confirmation. This is also, if you look at this angle here, you see that this is also a resistant angle here. If you put a resistant line here and trade it back down, you will see a resistance here, I've made a video on support and resistance. Please try to check the video on support and resistance. So having this here right now shows that there is overbought in the market. That means this particular currency, GBP USD, has moved up to a point that it will start coming down. So upon seeing this overbought signal here, it gives you a confirmation to sell. You see, I have overbought here, I have my trend line here. That is a confirmation to sell. Remember, I'm making analysis on the trade we took today, which I use the trend line, the RSI, and the moving average to confirm both my entry and my exit. So you can see this is the RSI, and you can go back and check so many examples. There are some you will see you have a signal of overbought or oversold and it won't really move, but you will surely see that there will be a movement in it, and that is why I say this is 90%. If you use this on with another indicator like trend line, support and resistance, you surely love this. You are going to have more in it. You can see what we have here. What happened after. So that is it, and you can see this in many time frames. So look at what we have here. Also, you can see this is oversold, and this indicates it start going up, and look at what happened next. You can see, and after here, see what happened here. After this moving back up here, we also have overbought indicator here showing that this thing overbought, and look what happened after tanking again. So that is how it is. So you can put this indicator RSI just like I showed you on your trading view, and also just check it out. Overbought and oversold is very simple like that. and I will also make some videos on it. There are some other settings you can use on this, and there is a way you can spot divergence on with this RSI as well. So I will also make a single video on RSI, explaining on these things, how you can properly use RSI using divergence, using overbought, oversold, and matching it together with other indicators. I'm going to make a video on that. So now that we have our two indicators, the trend line, we've seen how to draw a trend line. I have a video on trend line as well. You can also watch it to have more details and more proper knowledge on trend line. And this is also the RSI, which I'm going to make another detailed video. Now let's look at this moving average. So the trade we took today, we only use this 200 moving average to determine where to leave the market. So we got this trade entry from the 1 hour. Yes, from the 1 hour, we got this trade entry from the 1 hour. So after seeing this from the 1 hour, we knew, okay, the market will start tanking, and we took our entry at this region here. We took our short position at this region here, yeah, and we put our stop loss at this region here, and our target was this region here. Yes, this was our target. I'm going to also show you. Yes, you can see this, the call of the group. You can see everything on the screen right now. So that is it. Our target was here. So after our entry, let me go to 5 minutes. So after our entry, yes, this, okay. So after our entry, then there is a bit of, okay, the market start moving. I think our entry should be somewhere around here. Yes, our entry is somewhere around here. Why our TP? Yes, our TP is here. So okay, I'm coming. Okay, let me shift this way. So our entry and our TP is there. So this is how we get to exit the market. You can see you can see on the Telegram channel where I told everyone to, yeah, this is where we have our, this is our TP here. So on the group, wait, I have to check on 1 hour, few minutes. Okay, I want to be sure of where we put our TP. So I think our TP is somewhere here. So now going back to the 5 minutes candle, that is why I like using the top down analysis. I check my analysis from every time frame. So on the 5 minutes candle, I was able to see this. I was able to see that there is a support. This particular candle has found a support on the 200 moving average, and you can see, you will see the support. This is the support. Say this is the 200 moving average here. This is 200 moving average here, and I can see this is the 200 moving average here, serving as a support and not allowing this to move further down to come and hit our TP. So immediately after seeing this, I told everyone in the group to take out their profit. Take out your profit. So that is how we are able to bag big profit, because this is almost 1:3 risk to reward. So you can see this is how we are able to bag our profits at this region here. So upon touching the 200 moving average, we have to leave the market. So now let me talk about the moving average. Now this moving average, to put on the moving average indicator, you have to come to your indicator and search for moving average exponential. Moving average exponential. Moving average exponential. So this moving average exponential, you have to turn it on, and you are going to see a line like this. So you go to your settings, you come here, you click on settings, then you change the length to 200. That is how you get your 200 moving average. So your 200 moving average serves as a support and resistance, also help you to identify the current trend of the market. So you can see, if you put on your 200 moving average, you are going to see a lot of things. You can see here market going back up, touching this moving average and tanking down. So whenever market is below this, it clearly should below the below this moving average is clearly show you that we are in the downtrend. The market is in downtrend, and whenever you see market trading above it, you will see that the market is trying to climb up and going back up. And this moving average will give you clear view on whatever is happening in the market. You can see how it is going. So that is how the moving average keeps on following the market. So you can see the moving average can also give you a signal to buy or sell. I do use this to trade either alone or either trading with support and resistance. This is also an indicator you can also use to trade. So look at what happened here. Look at this region here. We have this thing, the moving average serving as resistance, preventing this candle to go back up, and look at what happened next. So this is also a moving average serving as a support, preventing this to come further down, and look at what happened. So if you put on the moving average on your screen, you are going to see a lot. You are going to see, just put on the moving average and look at, after setting it to 200, look at how many times this actually touch, or how many times this actually serve as a support or resistance for your chart. Just look at it. Just go ahead and look at it. So I'm going to make a single video on moving average as well, which I'm going to share to everyone. Like I said, this is a channel for everyone to grow. So I'm here to share knowledge to everyone, to help everyone, to guide everyone through their trading journey while I'm also learning and also growing. So if this is a content you enjoy so much, make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video. And also make sure you stay tuned in this channel and also join our Telegram Signal group, so that you can also be part of the free signal we are dropping there. Join our TikTok, follow me on Instagram and TikTok, share this video, and stay tuned for more video to come. So guys, enjoy your day, enjoy your profits. Bye for now.